I've always been an athlete. Basketball has been my thing. Only thing I would say is I didn't understand the seriousness of it until later in life. I didn't understand the obsession of it when I was younger. And I tell some of my young guys now that are in the NBA and actually playing here in Summer League, to be good at this thing, you got to obsess over it. And it sounds crazy that you have to obsess over it, but you really have to obsess over this shit if you're going to be good at it. Yeah. And that's what the best do. And those that understand it, those that get it are at a different level.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Heavy on Brand podcast. And I'm excited about this episode. I'm always excited about the episodes because I appreciate when people take the time, energy, and effort to hop on the show and chop it up with me. But I would love to welcome my guy, Jeremy Pargo, to the show.
Yes, sir.
Man, how's it going?
Oh, man, I can't complain. Things are well on this good West Coast with this heat.
Yeah, you in Vegas, right?
Yes, sir. Good old 106 outside right now.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. What do you do in 106 degree weather? Like, what do you do?
I argue with people about this all the time because people love to say it's too hot in Vegas. If it's 85 degrees anywhere, when we leave out the door, we're walking out of AC. When we go in somewhere, we're walking into AC. It's no difference. But it does help when you got a pool at the house. So.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You got something cool that you could just dip into, bro. I ain't mad at that. Man. Well, again, man, appreciate you jumping on the show, man. You've been a busy guy. You got a lot of stuff that's kind of shaking right now. Everything that you're doing right now is really impressive. I've always respected everything what you have going on from afar. So first off, man, congratulations to all the things. You got a movie that's out. You're crushing it in the big three. Man, what tell us a little bit more about what you got going on, man. I mean, I know it seems like a lot already, but
that's literally it. I mean, my focus is pushing the film as far as we can, the final play. Worked on that hard for a couple of years, and it's out now, available on Tubi, Amazon, Apple, all of that right now. So the biggest thing is pushing as hard as we can, and on weekends, I'm fortunate enough to be able to play in the big three.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. We definitely want to get into the final play, the movie that you produce. But let's start a little bit about your background. I know your background, right? You and I have had a number of times to catch up. You always got great stories to tell in your journeys as a professional basketball player. But, man, you and your brother, you specifically, like y'all hail from the streets of Chicago, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Southside. Inglewood.
See, I don't know if I think we talked about this before, but half my family's from the south side of Chicago.
I did not know that. I think you told me before, but I didn't know exactly. I don't think you knew exactly where on the south side.
Yeah. They're from the south side. It's not, the projects they were out of is non-existent now.
Okay, but, now I know exactly where they're from. They're from like 44th. Yeah.
That would be what, like Artgale Gardens, that kind of area?
Robert Taylor and all of that.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I would have to ask my mom, and she can kind of give me the rundown. But man, what was it like growing up in Chicago? You come from a city that is huge in the basketball space, right? You had an older brother. You have an older brother that played basketball before you, made it to college, made it to the NBA. What was that journey like for you coming up, man?
That journey was, I guess it was. Looking back at it, I guess you could say it was an experience because I was able to have my brother in front of me that was doing any and everything that I wanted to do. I tell people all the time, everybody wanted to be Michael Jordan and all these other people, and I'm from Chicago, so yes, we wanted to be Michael Jordan, but I wanted to be my brother more than anything. He laid a blueprint, I guess you could say, not even knowing he was laying a blueprint, but I did everything I could to follow in those footsteps, and went to the same high school, didn't go to the same college. Our mom was the man and the woman in the leader in the household. She did everything for me, him, and my sister. So the blueprint was laid, and I tried to follow as much as I can. And finally, I ended up getting on the path of what he was doing and made it to the NBA and playing overseas and a lot of different things. So yeah, I had a good leader to show me how to do things.
That's what's up, man. When did you know that was a real path for you? Like, because I think for anyone that plays a sport, especially as you start getting to like the next level, and I'm going to say college to the pros, I've only gotten but like there's a moment that kind of clicks where you're like, yo, I'm actually really good at this, and I have an opportunity to kind of really take this as far as I want it. Like, when was that for you?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if this hit, but so when growing up, I lived across the street from my elementary school, and it's two gates in front of the one gate on this side, and then you got the pathway to enter, and it's maybe 20, 30 feet in between, maybe 20. I used to walk around the neighborhood, and I used to fry scrap wood and build my own basketball hoops. So we never would build base. We would always tie them to the gate
Yeah.
that's in between the schools. And school let out at 2:30. At about 3:30, I got the hoops tied up on the gates, and we're playing full court on about 20, 30 feet. And I'm probably, I think I just turned like 12. I think I had just turned 12. And a guy walks out of the school, and I'm talking about I'm doing all kind of dunks, all kind of stuff, and we're playing. And the guy stops me like, "Yo, how old are you?" I told him I'm 11. No, my bad. I'm 12. I just turned 12. It was literally like a day after my birthday.
Oh, word. Okay.
I think that's the first time somebody told me like you can go to the NBA. I think that's the first time I heard it from. I don't even know who that guy is. I just remember that moment where he literally stopped us from playing and told me what he saw in me playing basketball.
It's funny how those little moments can impact you. They seem insignificant at the time, but when you look back on it, like the way you did, it's just like, yo, I think that was kind of the genesis of it, right? But you have to, not only had you started to see it, or you were kind of getting close to, watching your brother and seeing him progress, but then to kind of reach that point internally to be like, yo, I got what it takes.
Absolutely.
Did you ever have any, like, once that clicked for you and you started to see the path that you were going on, did that create any kind of pressure for you?
Pressure. If it was any pressure, the pressure wasn't felt or noticed until late. When you're young, you're just playing basketball. You have fun. It doesn't become a job until you don't like it anymore. I've always been an athlete. Basketball has been my thing. Only thing I would say is I didn't understand the seriousness of it until later in life. I didn't understand the obsession of it when I was younger. And I tell some of my young guys now that are in the NBA and actually playing here in Summer League, to be good at this thing, you got to obsess over it. And it sounds crazy that you have to obsess over it, but you really have to obsess over this shit if you're going to be good at it. Yeah. And that's what the best do. And those that understand it, those that get it are at a different level.
So do you feel like, to me from afar, outside looking in, it seemed like you were the type to kind of obsess over it because you don't get as good as you are. Talent has a lot, but you also have to work your ass off to get to that level.
I'm a gym rat. Like I love to be in the gym. I love to play. But the small, intricate details that Kobe Bryant talks about a lot, I didn't care for those. I'm walking on the basketball court and I'm able to do just about anything on the basketball court. I don't notice the small details. I don't notice the smallest things until I got older. Once I got older, I was able to understand and play the game. And when I say play the game in terms of being the locker room guy, being the older leader, being the guy that is in the gym early and late, and being an example for the younger guys. But I think those guys now have that. Most guys have that built into them. Most guys that make it to the highest level is built into them because they have someone ahead of them that was able to grab them early and teach them. Like I said, I had my brother as a leader. My brother wasn't always there to grab me because he was playing. My brother's 7 years older than me, so he was in college when I was late elementary school. He was in the NBA when I was in high school. So my brother had his own things going. Absolutely. So his blueprint showed me what to do. And if I could have seen that a little bit firsthand, I probably would have been a little more detail oriented in terms of that.
Yeah, and it's kind of difficult too, man, coming from that time period too, because we didn't have the same kind of access to that kind of information that people do now. Like,
absolutely,
coming up now, and you got any kind of talent. I won't say you don't have any excuse, but you got the access to information and you had a resources that from our era, it just didn't exist.
Absolutely. Now in today's world, my one of my boys is an agent, so he knows how the basketball world works now compared to what it was back in the day. You have kids moving across the country right now to go to different high schools to play with different players. That wasn't a thing when I was in high school. I had a guy ask my brother to move me to LA when he was playing with the Lakers. I was a freshman, and I begged my brother to do it. I really wanted to do it. The craziest thing is that guy came up in, I guess you could say, an NCAA scandal
Oh, word.
probably 10 years later with a player. So I still wish I would have moved to LA.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, LA too. I mean, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. When you were coming up in high school, you were starting to. I know you were probably, ain't no guess in it. I know you were a local legend. Who were some of the folks that you used to kind of face off against that we may or may not know?
Oh, guys that were from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Guy by you guys should know Julian Wright, played at Kansas, first round
Mm-hmm.
draft pick. He was number one in the class.
Yeah,
I was two on some boards. I was three on some boards. Some boards I wasn't even on.
yeah.
In the city, you had a guy by the name of Angel Santiago that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Ewing went to Wyoming. Tony Freeman went to Iowa.
Hmm.
Jamarcus Ellis, rest his soul, passed away maybe 2 years ago. He went to Julian College, then went to Indiana.
Yeah,
Stefan Hanna went to Missouri. It was a few names
yeah,
that
yeah.
in the city that were doing things.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
As you started to go down that path of, selecting which college,
I forgot the biggest name though.
who you got?
Derrick Rose.
Oh,
I
what?
forgot the biggest name. How the fuck can I forget that name? Jesus Christ. Nah, I probably forget that name because he was 2 years behind us. He wasn't my class. He was 2 years behind me. But
But you were still playing against him, though, kind of.
yeah, it was. So his high school coach was. I've known his high school coach since I was in like seventh grade.
Mm-hmm.
And he would always tell me he would never recruit me because he loved the coach of the high school that I went to. So in the summer they would play pickup, like that. Simeon would play pickup, and Rob would call me like, "Yo, I want you to come play." Okay, cool. I'm like I said, I'm a gym rat. I had a car. I'm on my way. Cool. They used to play this at a school called Diet.
Okay.
I jump in the car. I'm on my way. We want you to play against Derek. Okay, cool. I'm on my way. But Derek, and I'm not saying this like Derek was ducking or nothing. I'm just using eighth grade. He probably had AAU or something going on. But they would always tell me to come play, and I would go play. But Derek wasn't there, and I was playing against this guy by the name of Justice Sarasoli. Justice Sarasoli was one of the toughest guards I've ever seen in high school. That man was so cold. He was cold. But man, just being able to move around the city and play against guys like that it was always fun, man. And like I said, Derek is the biggest name of all.
Yeah. Did you have any inkling that he was gonna be who he was, even at that early age for him? I know you did, but could you kind of see it at that time?
He was 15, I think, about to be a sophomore in high school. And they had AAU game. I was at the AAU game. I can't even remember who it was against, but I'm watching the game. I think he had like 18 consecutive points.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, this is yeah. But did I see MVP in his third year? No, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. But that is insane. Youngest MVP in history and well deserved.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
That's what's up. So once you start to get recruited, you end up at Gonzaga. Why pick? Like, what made you pick that school?
Man, grades. Grades were down. They came in late to recruit. They were willing to help get me in proper classes and all these things to get my GPA up, and came down to loyalty. And probably a little pressure from my high school coach as well, to be honest. But yeah, came down to loyalty. They were willing to help and guide me in the right direction. I went to regular school from 8 a.m. to 2:45, night school from 3:30 to 7:30, and then after I graduated, I still did summer school to make up some credits to change my grade in some what do you call it, credited classes or whatever. So I did a lot of school, and they laid the path to what I needed to do to be able to get it done. And fortunately, I ended up getting, I think, a 21 on my ACT, so I didn't even need all that goddamn school, but I still did it. I went from like a 1.5 to like a 2.4 in one school year.
Yeah, what's funny, man? I don't think I ever told you this. Like you, I was a hoop head, and you just keep up with people that you see. And I remember, I'm a little older than you, but I remember watching y'all play a lot. And every so often, I would say to myself, like, how does he end up there? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially out of all the places, like you were nice, you were calm.
and
You know?
and I kid you not.
Mhm.
Looking back at it, it's the same questions I had for myself. Is
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Mm.
And it's not so much as it was a bad decision. It was much as it was so many schools between Chicago
Right. That's kind
and
of how.
Gonzaga or
Yeah.
Spokane, Washington, that it was just like how in the fuck did you end all the way up over there when you like I qualified. I got my qualifying letter that I passed,
Mhm.
not my ACT score that I was able to go to Division 1.
Mhm.
School started August 28th. I got my letter, my score like August 16th or something like that.
Okay. Oh wow.
Kansas calls August 17th.
Mm.
But at that time, they already had my boy Mario Chalmers.
Mhm.
Um, Russell Robinson was already there. It was no chance of me going to that school. I wasn't doing that. Wouldn't have made sense. And then it ultimately came down to loyalty. And back then, Gonzaga wasn't the respect of that they have now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It was
Mhm.
like you said, how the fuck do you end up at Gonzaga? But if a kid goes to Gonzaga now from Minnesota, Jalen Suggs to Gonzaga, it's like it's understood now.
Yeah.
And shout out to Jalen Suggs, by the way, because he literally, I had never met Jalen Suggs,
Mhm.
but I knew the story of him, how he got to Gonzaga and why he went to Gonzaga.
What,
Because obviously we played, huh?
what's the story behind that?
So Jalen Suggs was, I think, the number one point guard in the country, as well as like a top five quarterback or
He
number one
was. I did
quarterback in
know
the
that.
country.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I know my guy Tommy Lloyd, who recruited me, is the
Mhm.
one that recruited Jalen Suggs, and and at that time, Tommy was like, "Man, we're not getting number one point guard in the country. I'm not recruiting him," and it makes sense. Uh,
Mhm.
but I think Jalen Suggs' dad told him like, "Hey, recruit my son," and I think he did actually, and Jalen ended up going there, and I had never met him. But I did watch. Obviously, I watched his freshman year at Gonzaga, and
Yeah.
early in the season, he had a great game against Kansas in the tournament early on. And I tweeted, which probably was my last tweet ever. I ain't tweeted in years. I don't even know my
Mhm.
password.
Mhm.
That he might be the best point guard in Gonzaga history based off of that game because he had like 24, 6, and 8 and 6 or something like that. Great game.
Mhm.
And I saw him in Vegas last year or the year before, and I had never met him, but he literally said, "You started all of this," which is
Word.
like
That's crazy.
it made me think like, damn, I'm 15 years older than him or something. And he knows the history of I guess the inner city kid from the Midwest with big aspirations of going to the NBA and all of that, traveled all the way to Gonzaga to play. And it was a appreciative moment for me. So I just told him I appreciated it and kept it moving because that meant a lot coming from somebody like him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's
coming from anybody to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge. I mean, that's part of why I was saying, like, how does he end up there? Because I mean, what the biggest name I would say before you that came out of there was what? Was it John Stockton, maybe?
No,
Oh,
John is the biggest name of all time, but that was also during the '80s.
right,
Um,
right.
but you had Dan Dick Al, you had
Oh,
Blake
that's
Stepp
true.
before me, and all of that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
no one saw those guys as what they became at Gonzaga. I was seen as what I was going to Gonzaga, and kind
Mhm.
of dumbed down a bit going to Gonzaga. And I'm not blaming them for anything, but
Yeah,
it's just the reality of what it was. At the time, I was the highest recruit in Gonzaga history to ever go
yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay. What's the guy's name? Adam Morrison. Was he after you or before?
No, he was. Adam was. I was a freshman. He was a junior. So the year that
Okay,
he went
y'all were
off
a
and averaged
year.
29, I was a freshman. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all used to cause some havoc, man. I remember watching and I just remember thinking too, like, how in the hell are we watching these games in Atlanta? But
Yeah.
it's the conference and they get played over here and all that good stuff, and because that would have been packed.
Yeah. We was playing at midnight, West Coast, East Coast time.
Yeah. So y'all used to get a
Game was
lot of
coming on
play.
at midnight East Coast time. Crazy.
Exactly. Exactly. That's dope, man. That's dope. So when highly recruited player coming out of high school, you go to Gonzaga, and then when do the conversations around like making it to the next level, making it to the NBA start to happen? Like when did you know like okay, I need to start to kind of switch?
I never knew to flip a switch, but the conversation of going to the NBA started my senior year of high school. Actually,
Okay.
I split MVP at ABCD camp for the
Hmm.
All Star game. It was me, Gerald Green, Byron Eaton, and Brandon Rush. Brandon Rush went to Kansas. Byron Eaton to Oklahoma State. Gerald Green was committed to Oklahoma State. Ended up
Yeah.
going to the NBA straight out of high school. But the conversations really started then, and you're young, you're the cool kid. I kid
Hmm.
you not, I got stories for days, and they all just randomly come up like this. We played a Christmas tournament, Thanksgiving or Christmas tournament. I can't remember when. I want to say it was Thanksgiving tournament to kick off the
Hmm.
season against Angel Santiago,
Hmm.
against a school called Von Stubens. So they out at ABA camp that year. They gave like us towels, but it was in the form of a hood that you could put on like a hood.
Uh-huh.
And sitting on the bench, the thing was have a towel over your head and all that shit, like a cool guy, right?
Yeah.
So I walk on the court, come out to warm up. I got the hood on. I think later on, a day or two later, I found out it was like 10 NBA scouts at that game, and it didn't help me at all that I had this hood on and all of this shit. So you're young and you don't know.
Yeah.
And like I said, my brother was off playing. I had no one to tell me, like, hey, these aren't the things you need to be doing.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of when the talks came up. And my AAU coaches let me know like that was a moment that you kind of missed because I mean I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm a kid thinking I'm cool at the time.
Yeah, I mean, we've all done stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, just yeah, you run the gamut. But I get it. I get it, man. So when you get your opportunity and you go into the league, you're getting drafted, you're getting on a team, were you because you already had exposure to it. You had already been around a lot of your brother Jannero, of course, is already in the NBA.
Yeah.
Was it still kind of a I don't want to say rude awakening, but was it still an adjustment period for you once you made it?
So me, I went undrafted. My first 2 years, I played in
Mhm.
Israel. But
Ah,
yeah, it was
okay.
absolutely an adjustment because I was coming in as a what 24, 25-year old, 24-year-old rookie or something like that. So I
Mhm.
had already played 2 years pro, and I'm coming in. And this is. And on top of that, it was after the lockout. The lockout, you being at home all this time, you form bad habits in terms of the way you play because of the bullshit in Chicago and how everybody wants you to play.
Mhm.
So it was definitely an adjustment, and I can't even say I was able to adjust in the first year. It took
Yeah.
me a year, or we didn't even get a full year. It took me 6 months to adjust to what the NBA was and what it took to be in the NBA.
The first team you joined in the NBA was Memphis, right?
Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So how was that? Like once you finally get to the Grizzlies, what like tell me about that experience.
Um, when I got the call, it was an unbelievable feeling when I got the call because a lot of people say when you play overseas and all this, you made it and all that. It's not the same feeling of a lifelong dream of playing in the NBA. That's something you want since you're goddamn 4 years old or something like that. So
Mhm.
when I got the call, it was unbelievable, and I had built friendships with a couple guys that are on the team. I knew Tony Allen from Chicago a small bit,
Mhm.
and I had been actually training with Rudy Gay a couple times throughout this summer, so I had built a relationship with him as well. And
Mhm.
it was just an exciting time, and moving to Memphis and all of that was very different and new. I had to adjust.
Mm. Gotcha. Gotcha. So you had a stint there in Memphis. I guess in your first time there or first season there, right? What's the moment that stands out to you the most? Like, all right, whether it's you kicking it with the team or you facing off against somebody. Like, what's a key moment where you like, damn, like that's I'm in the league now.
I guess one of the first things was my first practice. You get there and you playing hard and all this. Practice ended because I got dunked on. Coach called. I'm playing well. I'm feeling myself.
Yeah.
Rudy Gay gets baseline. And I say, I'm going over here to try and block it. He dunked
No.
on me so goddamn hard.
No.
Coach said, that's it. That's it. Practice over. One of the biggest moments was playing against my brother that year. That was the first time I ever played against my brother. He was with the Hawks. I was in Memphis. It was the first time I ever played against him. So that was one of the biggest moments of that year for me.
Oh yeah, I got a picture of y'all kind of embracing each other. I feel like I've seen a bit. That's dope.
Yep.
That's dope.
That's the first time we ever played against each other. Yep.
Now, were you going at him hard? And like, were you really trying to get after him when y'all got out there?
No, I probably. If he was going at me, I probably only played 3-4 minutes that game. Nothing much at all. But to be on the court at the same time was impressive.
So you made stops I want to say you had stops at Cleveland, Golden State. What were some other stops?
Yeah, journeyman, Philadelphia and Memphis.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha. Anything that you wanted to share, like of those places, what was kind of the favorite? What was the favorite stop that you had along the way as a journeyman, for lack of a better word?
Cleveland was. I love Cleveland because Byron Scott was a hell of a guy, man, and. Byron Scott was a hell of a coach because he's gonna tell you about yourself no matter who you are. He's gonna let you know, and right after it's back to normal. He's not gonna be weird about it. He's not gonna be an asshole. He's gonna be open and honest, and then everything is over after that. And make your improvements, and we're fine. I love Byron Scott to this day for it. And on top of that, my small little time at Golden State was amazing because Steve Kerr. He's an amazing guy, man, and the things that y'all see him talk about and the things he does in the media, that's who he is, and I appreciate people for being who they are and being good people because Steve didn't have to reach out to me when I was there. I was there on a very, very short time, so he didn't have to reach out to me and have conversations with me after I was there, tell me things that was going on. So I appreciate him a lot for that.
Yeah, no, that's cool to hear because you don't know. You know, when you see people in front of the media all day and whatever it may be, you don't really know if they are who they portray themselves to be. So whenever I hear stories like that, I think that's always I respect it. I love to hear that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've been around people that ain't who they always are in the media. I've definitely experienced that. I've had a coach in the league that was not what they seem to be in the media.
I'm sure. Yeah, we won't ask who. But no, I get it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's one of 4 coaches. I only played for 4, and I told you 2 that I loved.
So the other 2, all right, we're gonna have to go to Basketball Reference, and we're gonna figure out who we talking about here. All right, noted, man. So, if between your time within in the league, man, and like who was the person that you feel like you outside of your brother, like who do you feel like, and maybe some of the coaches that you mentioned, is there another player that you feel like you learned the most from?
Oh man, Antoine Walker.
Okay,
he's my AU coach actually. So seeing what Twan was in the city of Chicago was unreal. And Twan would always tell people when he went back then is Michael Jordan, Mayor Daley, then Antoine Walker. that was the order in Chicago. And he wasn't wrong. He was not wrong. And sometimes he would be above Mayor Daley. So
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Antoine Walker.
Yeah, I knew he was a big deal.
Big influence. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up. So you play in the NBA, you go back overseas for a little bit. You had another stint or a few stints in Israel and what other spots? Any?
Russia, China, a lot of places. I've been everywhere. This ball has taken me a lot of places.
What's your favorite of those places?
Israel. Okay. Israel. Yeah, it doesn't really compare to many other places that I've played in Europe. I've traveled to some amazing cities to play games, but never lived in those cities. So Israel is very, very, very similar to the States and how we move over here.
I remember you told me a while ago, man, you was like, man, when I'm in Israel, I feel like I got to move like LeBron.
My brother said that. Okay. My brother said that. But not to that level. Not to that level. But I guess in Israel, It is a Jeremy Pargo thing in Israel. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not so much anymore. 10 years ago, yeah, it was a little crazy.
Yeah, nah, that's funny. That's cool. That's dope. So at this point, man, I know you like as you because you and I were talking a lot during that time as well. You starting to venture and think about like life after the game,
Hmm.
and so I think that's kind of what brings you to where we are now with you starting up Pargo Productions and getting into like the content space and producing movies. What was the inspiration behind that, man? Did you always know in the back of your mind that this was something that you wanted to do? Like, where did the passion come from? Because I feel like you're a really creative dude, but
I
where did the
had
passion come from around that, man?
I had no idea what I wanted to do after basketball. I figured I would go into coaching because I love to help and teach and all of that shit. But
Yeah.
this movie thing just my friend Gerard, who plays Corey in the final play,
Hmm.
he hit me in 2016. Like, yo, I want you to come play this role in this movie. I said, what?
Hmm.
I'm not an actor. I'm not finna. No, I'm good. He said, bro, just come do this for me. I need you to do this, right? So I'm like, you know what? I cool. So I go and do it. Um, I get they have a screening. I think maybe a couple months later. I'm in Miami. I don't go to the screening because I don't think anything of it. I
Hmm.
get a call. I get a call from Gerard like, yo, a lady by the name of Claire Simon is gonna call you
Okay.
for what? She saw the movie. She loved what you did in the movie. All right, cool, whatever. I ain't thinking nothing of it. I'm in the gym working out at the time. I kid you not. And I get a call from Claire's assistant, and she is Claire Simon is the casting director for all of the Chicago shows, Empire, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, and she's a casting director for all of those. And she wanted me to do an audition for a role in Chicago PD. That's fast forwarding a bit because I was in China playing at the time when I got that call to do an audition. But when they first called me, they were like, "We love what you did in the blueprint." And I was like, I wasn't acting. I was just being myself. I was just being who I am. And she
Hmm.
was like, "That's exactly what acting is. People think they have to be someone else. They have
Yeah.
to be themselves within that character." I was just like, you know what? I appreciate it. And when I was in China and got the call to audition for Chicago PD, which I still have this voicemail to this day, will never
Or
delete it. I literally said, I'm gonna write something myself because I don't have the confidence to go do an audition. It's all new to me. I don't know. I'm gonna write something myself and we film it ourselves, guerrilla style on iPhones or something.
hmm
And it turned into way bigger than that. It turned into a whole production company, all kind of stuff. And the production company came about because I am very fond of my last name. I don't care about the first one, but I'm very fond of the last name.
yeah,
And I didn't want someone else's company on what I did, what I
yeah,
wanted to do.
yeah.
So I called my sister Valentina. Hi, Valentina.
Hmm. What up, big?
And she literally put things in order for us to get to where we are.
Hmm.
And that was during the pandemic. And I was like, I'm going to write. Found a co-writer after I got about 30, 40 pages to help me build out the rest because I had never written anything. I don't like to write in school. I hated writing. But I like storytelling and I like
Yeah,
to tell stories. And I was just building, and it turned into 90 pages. And the final play is,
yeah.
is streaming everywhere right now.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How long would you say you were writing for, man?
Probably a year and a half.
Okay.
But it
Yeah.
would be write 10 pages one day, don't write again for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, Write 4 pages, then what I'm saying, a lot of sporadic writing.
Hmm.
But because I have ideas, which I have a whole goddamn board with
Oh,
ideas
check
right
'em out.
there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because I have ideas and I like to tell stories, I'm
Hmm.
not the small detail guy. Like it's a part where in the final play when a woman is wearing a green dress, the club is called Club Emerald.
Hmm.
I don't think in those small details.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm the big picture guy. I can write the big pictures with no problem.
Hmm.
So when you have someone to come in, shout out to Barche, to help you with all of that stuff, it makes
Hmm.
it so much smoother. And it gives you a good flow because you're bouncing things off them, they're bouncing things off you. And it's literally a team effort to get where you want to be. And with Barche, not he doesn't know my comedic sense. I didn't know
Hmm.
his comedic sense, but I knew what I wanted.
Okay.
So as we building things out, I would always go back in and make it what I wanted it to be because this has been my baby since, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
2021, or 2020, one of them, and it became 90 pages, man, and a lot of laughs, a lot of fun making this movie.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. What if you had to say like the when you first started the process of writing the movie and pulling together the script, and then you look at kind of what the output ended up being, how much did it change along the way? Like, did you start and then scrap a bunch of stuff and then kind of get back in the lab again? Like, I'm
I
curious to know what
did.
it's like for you.
I
Yeah.
did scratch some things,
Mhm.
and it was all to make the film play better, I guess you could say, or because I had a blow up scene between two characters, and I was in a car on the move. That could have got expensive, so it was like, yeah, we don't need to do that. Let's get that out of there. But yeah, it's pretty much true to what the form I had in mind when I first.
Mhm.
Very true to what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, and I love that you. So I had seen it, by the way. I seen like the private screening of it for
Mhm.
those who haven't seen it. It's a really really good movie, and I was super impressed once I got a chance to check it out. And one thing I appreciated about you most, I don't know if I told you that night that y'all had the screening in Atlanta, but you don't give yourself credit for the attention to details, but you did that night because you kept saying there were certain things about that movie that we needed to address before we put it
Mhm.
out to the masses. And I felt like you said that a couple of times, and I was like, "Yo, that's someone who's really taking the craft of this like very seriously," and
Mhm.
that's the amount of respect that I just wanted to make sure I gave you around that because that's a huge project that you led up that you produced, man. Like I don't think I know anyone else personally that has produced a movie, right? And so, so
Listen,
kudos to you, man.
it can get very scary, and to
Mhm.
address the details that because I've touched every aspect of this movie,
Yeah.
every aspect, music,
Mhm.
color, um, sound,
Mhm.
every like what shot should we use here? I've touched every piece of this movie,
Yeah.
and you were at the very first screening when we showed pretty much that was the first time anyone outside of me, Valentina, maybe 5, 6 people had
Yeah.
seen it. So
Mhm.
all the small details that I caught and noticed are details that weren't in there when I'm sitting home watching on my laptop. So in transit from one computer to another, somebody was fucking up. And I don't know if I can cuss on here, but somebody was
No, you
fucking
fine.
up. And I was catching it like, yo, y'all got us looking bad. And I don't
Mhm.
want to talk about money or anything, but I put a lot of money into this, and I'm not
Mhm.
gonna let this shit just be fucked up because
Yeah.
somebody is making a mistake that they can't fix. So with this man, a lot of people, and I'm not, I wasn't the one to do it. Valentina had to do it. A lot of people got fired around this goddamn movie.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
we
Yeah.
had to make a lot of pivots and turns and changes. And with that being done, it came out to be the right thing to do. Um,
Yeah.
and with that being done, also still burned a lot of money doing it, but it was the
Mhm.
right thing to do to get the best product on film. And we couldn't have it no other way because I had burnt money already, and I wasn't gonna just slack in the end. Wouldn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I get it, man. Trust me. Lord knows I get it. The thing that, I really respected about that too as well is the fact that you were willing to put it out knowing that it was still a work in progress. And I think sometimes we all kind of get caught up in, trying to put out the perfect thing when sometimes in order for you to get to that perfect thing, you have to put out something that is less than stellar because that's where you start to uncover and see certain things that you may not have seen prior to that point. And
Mm-hmm.
that takes a lot of courage, man. It really does, especially when it's something that's like your baby and something that you put a lot of resources, a lot of time, a lot of energy behind. And it's not an easy thing to do, man.
Not at
So
all.
yeah.
It is scary.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary, but you did it, man, and the outcome of it was is what it is. And so
Mm-hmm.
huge congrats on that, man. Huge congrats.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
So what's next, man? What we getting to part two of this thing? What do we got?
Um,
We got on the docket, man, for other projects coming out, man. You know I had
with
to ask. I'm
with the
curious.
few people that have seen it, a lot of people, I've gotten, it should be longer. It
Yeah.
should be long. This movie is an hour and 48 minutes. Why does it need to be longer? Like, I just think that comes down to people being used to watching series. Series run the world right now, and you get to fall in love with characters. You get to hate characters. You get to learn characters more with a series because you're putting out. Even if you put out a mini series of 4 to 6 episodes, that's still
Mhm.
4 to 6 hours of film.
Yeah.
So you can really enjoy a character or hate a character within that time span. And we had to fit all of this into an hour and 45 minutes, give or take. And I do have one of the scripts that's up here. I can actually really turn into a part two,
Okay.
but it will be a spinoff. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna make it a separate movie, but it could be a spinoff to Darnell and Renee's characters actually. But I'm
Okay.
not I'm not gonna do it. It would be easy to do, but it would be too much of the same to do it. So
Yeah.
that film, Darnell Nav, is actually the guy that I'm thinking of as the lead in that film as well. Anyway,
Mhm.
but yeah, I got some things I'm working on, man. I actually this whiteboard has 2 scripts on one side and 2 ideas on the other side. So I got
Right.
I got quite a few ideas, man, and I'm trying to plant myself 10 toes down in this thing, and living in Vegas, having the film world on its way to Vegas, you can find grants and all these things, and I'm searching.
Yeah.
If I can get that found, I can
Yeah.
be shooting in the next 2 months with no problem.
Yeah. Look at Atlanta too, bro.
Yeah.
There's all kind of stuff happening here, and I know y'all did some stuff here too. So, but yeah, bro, that's incredible, man. Man, it made me think of when it comes to kind of the next phase. The fact that you're doing this, you're managing this, you're building this production company, and you're still hooping, you're doing stuff with Big Three, which is super dope. How do you manage? How do you manage the two, man?
I I think it's a little easier for me. I guess I found myself not understanding people that have 9 to 5s in terms of how like and it's because I've never had one. It's not like
Yeah.
I'm looking down on anyone. I've never
Mhm.
had a regular job, so I don't know how to time manage to the point of they people that have to time manage that way. I'm used to waking up, going to the gym, and coming home and being free. So it took a while before I was able to understand, like, hey, you got to figure out how to manage time and make it useful in terms of whatever you're going to do in terms of film or sports or a regular job. Like you have to find time to sit down and write.
Yeah.
And I find myself having a lot of time on my hands, so I don't necessarily know what it is like to be busy.
Mhm.
So being busy is new for me.
Yeah, but it's not always good, man. There's a such thing as being bad busy too.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, that's
like,
running the streets. That's that's
yeah,
that's the bad busy, running the streets. I've, I've, I've been bad busy before, for sure.
yeah, no, all right.
I'm getting older. I'm trying to be more good busy.
Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you. So, up until this point, man, of course, have been known for you as the basketball player, for your talents and things. I think that will always be a part of you. But I really respect kind of what I don't want to call it the second act. What's the best way to say it?
No, second act is
New
is
part of
it's the
you,
right way. It's
right?
the
The
right
next
way.
version of you. Let's say the next version of you, right? Because that stuff never leaves us, especially when you devote that kind of time and you're as successful as you have been with it. What do you want? Like, if you had to pinpoint what you wanted your brand to be moving forward, like, what would you say? Like, how would you classify it? What would you call it?
I want to keep pumping out movies, man. I want to keep making people laugh. I want to keep making people feel things. I want to tell stories. I want other people to have stories that I want to tell. Yeah, I want to make people feel things, and not necessarily just bad things. I want people to understand. I want people to build relationships with the significant other, make them better. I want people to laugh and smile when they see, I guess, family members in film, other athletes in film.
Mhm.
I was real. Um, I was real big on making sure my niece and nephew were in the final play.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
told them probably a year before we even filmed that I wanted them to do it, so they knew their roles. They came in ready, and I just want to build this thing to where all athletes have a home to tell stories, and people that have any inkling or idea or want to be in the film world have an opportunity to come over this way, and we build something together. Where like I've had so many people that I reached out to, like, yo, do this audition, and we'll, you know what I'm saying, I'll try and get you into to my movie. I don't think many people understood how serious I was. So I encounter a lot of people right now that are saying like, yo, make sure I'm in the next one, or I feel like I could have did that. I'm trying to show you, because I'm not a class taker. I walked on set with my personality. So if I ever reach out to someone like, yo, I want you to try this, that means I see that personality in you for that role, and it's easier for you to do. And I think people seeing that I was able to do it, not myself as an actor, but the whole movie in general, I think they'll be a little more open to that, to receiving that once that call comes through. And I'm hoping to get there, man. I would love to be filming again before the year's over.
Man, that's incredible, bro. Do you feel like, and I'm sure parts of this is different, but do you feel like your experience in playing overseas, playing in the NBA, and like the business side of that, do you think there's any element that helped prepare you for what you're doing now?
Gerard, going back to Gerard again, who plays Kerr in the film, he always let me know, just whatever approach you took in basketball to be good on the court, take that same approach in this, and you'll be just fine. And that's what I did. I found myself in competition on set in terms of acting against Gia, who was played by Hazel Renee. She did her thing, and I probably got out acted even in those roles when I was competing. But I turned it to competition, and that's what it became for me. Yeah,
that's what's up. That's what's up. Remind me again. I want you to share. I know, but where is the movie being streamed right now?
Oh man, it literally just hit Tubi for free, so everybody can go check it out for free on Tubi right now. It's still live on Amazon, Apple, Fandango. I don't know if it's on Fandango at home anymore, but it's also on Google Play. But yeah, if you go to Tubi right now, it's free. You can check it out, have a ball, get your laughs, and feel free to DM me or write me about it anytime. Let's talk about it.
Hold on, man. You gotta let that settle in a little bit, brother. You got a movie that's on Tubi, Apple, Amazon.
Yeah.
You know how significant that is, bro? Like,
I don't. I really don't.
I'm just saying, Doc.
No, I really don't, because it's so much content, there's so many movies on these platforms that it's just like, at times I feel like it's just another movie. I don't feel like I feel anything until I get maybe to the third one. I'm gonna have to get probably 2 more of these things out before I start to feel a difference with what I'm doing. You know.
I appreciate and respect that mindset about it, but I ain't gonna let you. Like, you got a movie on several streaming platforms, major ones. So receive that, bro. Receive that.
Appreciate you, brother. I definitely appreciate it.
Cool, man. Where else can people find you, man? I know you're directing people to streaming platforms. So where can they keep up with you?
I'm on Instagram, Tubi, all of that stuff. I'm just Pargo. I am just. Everybody want to say I am. It's not I am. It's I'm. I am. Just Pargo. Everybody, I am. No, it's not I am. No. What are y'all doing?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm everywhere, man. Just having fun, living life. And if you see me, say what's up. That's simple. If you want to talk about movies, come talk about it. I'd love to do it.
Yeah, my God. I appreciate it, man. Well, I won't keep you any longer, man. Again, we appreciate you hopping on the show and just sharing a little bit about, your journey, your path, man. I know there's probably a lot more that we can get into, and if you're down, we can run this back one more time.
Yes, sir.
But congratulations to you and all the success, man. And we always root for you, and whatever you need, man. We're here, bro. So appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Heavy on Brand podcast, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. If you need more information on all things marketing and branding, check us out at thecarbonthread.com. Until next time, stay heavy.